Two American icons born in the 19th century, shaping the 20th century and influencing the makers and dreamers and thinkers of the 21st century and beyond. The design philosophies and pioneering spirit of Airstream founder Wally Byam and American architectural titan Frank Lloyd Wright come together in the Airstream Frank Lloyd Wright Usonian limited edition travel trailer. But for decades, Byam and Wright crafted key components of the American design story. This is the tale of two icons, Wally Byam and Frank Lloyd Wright. Wallace Merle Byam was born on the 4th of July, 1896, a fitting birthday for someone who would go on to shape the travel dreams of people wanting to explore and revel in the vast and varied American landscape. His thirst for travel was insatiable from a young age, and after working as a shepherd with a mobile kitchen cart, sailing with the merchant marines, working in advertising, and then starting several magazines, Wally began designing and building mobile tent trailers. He sold both the plans and the finished trailers and began to make a name for himself until, in 1931, he set up shop in a Los Angeles warehouse and named his new company Airstream. Wally said he wanted his trailers to flow down the highway like a stream of air, and by 1936, inspired by the riveted aluminum aircraft of the day, began building riveted aluminum travel trailers. Their rounded silhouette made them aerodynamic, but inside they were marvels of innovation, complete with beds, bathrooms, kitchens, hot water, and off-grid capability. Wally continued refining his designs, but had to shut the company down during World War II. He went to work supporting the war effort in the aircraft industry, and when he reopened Airstream after the war, he brought with him invaluable expertise. Airstream would go on to become the world's most iconic recreational vehicle, and Wally's adventures on caravans in Europe, Africa, and beyond would prove to generations of Americans and travelers around the globe that there's truly no better way to experience the world than with an Airstream in tow. While Wally Byam was perfecting his aerodynamic designs, Frank Lloyd Wright was redefining American architecture. Equally adventurous and possessing the singular vision and artistic bravery that drove Wally, Frank Lloyd Wright took architectural ingredients and reshaped them through his own imagination. Born 2 decades before Wally Byam, Frank Lloyd Wright faced many of the same cultural headwinds and entrenched ideas that resulted in a breadth of uniformity. Both were continuously evolving and not afraid of challenges. Both were willing to take chances if it meant creating something truly special. And both faced a sea of sameness and the singular kind of flattery that comes from being imitated. As far as the history books and archives know, Wally Byam and Frank Lloyd Wright would never meet face to face. It's possible they knew of each other, or knew something of the masterpieces of design and imagination that each was creating. In his early life, Wally wrote that he wanted to make history. Wright believed that if we could all learn better self-denial, then we would all dream bigger. In creating the world's most iconic travel trailers and the defining pieces of American architecture, Wally Byam and Frank Lloyd Wright recreated the way Americans lived, worked, and enjoyed life. Before putting pencil to paper, Frank Lloyd Wright would visit the site where his plans would eventually be built. He walked among the trees, surveyed the hills and depressions in the land, and observed the way the sun cast shadows across the expanse. Wright sought to situate his homes and buildings in ways that agreed with the landscape. His philosophy of organic architecture blends the human-made and the natural world in harmony. By their very definition, Wally Byam's Airstream travel trailers were quite the opposite of Wright's brick and mortar buildings. Where Wright's homes are locked in place in situ, recreational vehicles exist in 2 realms, the transient and the sedentary. Rolling down the highway, Wally's rounded, riveted RVs slide through the environment with mercurial smoothness, turning heads and gleaming in the sun. Then, the Airstream pulls up to its destination and the door to the second world opens. It could be a traditional campground, a remote patch of public land, a national park. A home is created out in nature, a place that wasn't there a moment ago and will eventually disappear, leaving only the trees and the rocks, the mountains and the rivers. Wright wanted his buildings to feel part and parcel of the world around them, while Wally wanted you to go out and discover all the parts that make up the whole. While their approaches to the landscape were different, they shared a desire for you to truly live in whatever landscape you found yourself in. Frank Lloyd Wright and Wally Byam shared an extraordinary mastery of space, convertibility, and aesthetics, blending practicality with beauty. Wright's architectural designs, like his Usonian homes, optimized every square foot for efficient living, just as Wally's Airstream trailers transformed compact interiors into functional, livable spaces. Both men understood the art of adaptability. Wright's open floor plans allowed for flexibility in daily life, while Wally's innovative trailers offered a seamless transition from home to the open road. Their creations were not just functional, but stunningly designed, with Wright's organic forms echoing nature's elegance, and Byam's aerodynamic aluminum shells embodying timeless modernity. Together, they proved that thoughtful design could elevate both utility and experience. Frank Lloyd Wright and Wally Byam shared an adventurous spirit that shaped both their lives and their groundbreaking designs. Wright's travels to Japan and Europe deeply influenced his architectural philosophy, blending the East's advancement by virtue of their connection to nature with Western innovation. Similarly, Wally's caravans to Europe, Africa, and Central America reflected his belief in travel as a gateway to understanding the world. Wright found inspiration in the rugged beauty of the American Southwest, translating its forms and textures into his organic designs like Taliesin West. Wally's unique travel trailers brought this sense of adventure to life, offering freedom and comfort for exploring remote landscapes. Both men were bold innovators, crafting unconventional creations. Wright's cantilevered homes and Wally's riveted aluminum trailers that invited people to embrace the unknown and experience the world in transformative ways. These two icons may have never met, but together they represent the best of American art and design, and they redefined the idea of a life well lived.